Welcome to the SPF Draft League Top 5 Plays of the Week, Week 1. First, an honorary mention, Vaporeon's Ice to Meet You from BMM. To make sure confirmation bias doesn't get the better of us, it's important to call out great tech, even when it doesn't quite work as intended. In Games 2 and 3 of the York Street Yanma vs the South Hill Skinwalkers, BMM's Vaporeon terrestrialized to ice and fired off multiple blizzards, racking up great damage and eventually leading to a BMM win. But why Terra a defensive Pokemon like Vaporeon into one of the worst defensive types? Well, I did a little detective work in the damage calculator, and while Blizzard Vaporeon comfortably handles Garchomp, it needs an extra power boost to guarantee a knockout on a Garchomp that is terrestrialized to just the ground type, which halves its weakness to ice. What else goes well with a powerful Earthquake from Terra Ground Garchomp? Kilowattrel, who also has a good shot to survive Blizzard from Vaporeon without the boost. So although it didn't pan out exactly as planned, kudos to BMM for finding a one-stop shop answer for Terra Ground Garchomp plus Kilowattrel in the inaugural week of the season. Coming in at number 5, we have the little Klefky that could. In Game 1 of the Sinto Squawkers vs the Milwaukee Sawsbucks, Klefky fired off a Dazzling Gleam to break a potential Focus Sash on turn 1. After being taunted, it was forced to fire off another, and upon seeing its potential, Coach Flaccid Panda gave it the nod for a Fairy Terrestrialization, after which it proceeded to rack up a huge amount of damage, picking up a KO on Weavile and softening up the opposition for its Paradox partners to close the door on a clean victory in Game number 1. Number 4. Tauros' Gambit. In Game 1 of the Nomo Dozo Bozos vs the Karamja Whippers, things were looking good for Coach Double Rockslide, with a Pokemon advantage and several key threats dealt with. However, we all know how resilient King Gambit can be, especially after it received an attack buff from Defiant. However, Tauros came prepared. With an immediate Mirror Herb proc and no fear of Sucker Punch thanks to its typing, Tauros fired off a +2 close combat to seal the deal in Game number 1. Number 3. Under the Weather with Hippowdon and Hatterene. In Game 1 of I Heart Muscle Mommies vs the Leshy Lechonk, Coach Karate's Skeledirge looked well positioned against the opposing Armarouge and Torkoal. However, he found an even better play, swapping it out for Hippowdon, whose Sandstream cancelled out the Sun, causing partner Hatterene's Water-type Terra Blast to be full power and allowing it to take out Torkoal in just one hit, leading to a Game 1 win for the Muscle Mommies. Number 2. The Anti-Arcanine Armada. In Game 2 of the Odawara Octillery vs Jackson's Jacked Sons, Coach Valdens took a hardline stance against stat drops with the impenetrable wall of Mirror Armor Corviknight and Clear Amulet Iron Hands. After reflecting both an Icy Wind speed drop and an Intimidate with Corviknight, Iron Hands then terrestrialized to the Fire type, rendering it immune to burn and making it so Arcanine was all but nullified in the deciding game of the match, ending in a 2-0 victory for the Artillery. And finally, number 1. If you watch the matches this week, you know what's coming. Rip Bozo from the Average Reggie's Gymnasium. After Terrafire Dondozo took it all the way to the bank for Team Iron Balls in Game 1, Meowscarada struck back with a beautifully thought out plan. Mirror Herb to copy the boosts, and Skill Swap to steal unaware, turning the tables on what looked at first to be a very difficult matchup. Alongside a nearly unkillable Bulk Up Annihilate, Meowscarada shut down the fish, reducing Dondozo's contribution from a roar to a whimper, leading to wins in Games 2 and 3 and a Week 1 victory for Average Reggie's Gym. Thanks for watching the SPF Draft League Top 5 Plays of the Week, and tune in next week for some more awesome plays.